1077 The Bone, that is Dio, and Don't Talk to Strangers. I'm Nikki Blakk, and this is the Bone Metal Zone, and in the studio with me tonight, I have Rob Cavestany and Will Carroll from Death Angel, and they just released their new album, The Dream Calls for Blood, in Europe.
All right.
It's out there. It's in the world now. It's being stolen as we speak.
It's shaking babies all over Europe right now.
That is right.
This is a weird thing, though, because, I mean, when you guys were releasing albums in the 80s and early 90s, none of this existed, right? You had to wait how many days for some kind of sales numbers or some kind of response, or maybe like somebody would give you a phone call. Did that happen back in the day?
Probably. I mean, yes, but the thing is, we were like kind of really young back then, so we weren't even paying attention to that kind of thing. So I don't even know
somebody
what
called
was
your mom
happening at the day of. Yeah, we were just wanting to, play and go on tour and have fun, and we weren't really paying attention to all these little details about stuff.
But now, can you resist? I mean, you've got the whole internet at your fingertips, and people are all over the world just, I got the record now, and here's what it sounds like, and here's how much,
Yes, it's very fun now. It's very fun with that. It's hard to resist. I personally can't resist. I got to read all the stuff and look at it and turn off my phone while I'm at the recording studio.
People are texting you right now. Dude, I hear you on the air. Yeah. I'm hearing you right now.
Actually, this is Mark Osagueda texting me right now.
Yeah. That's good. Hey, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
You almost should you should just call him and hold the phone up.
Okay, sorry. I will.
I'm kidding. Don't call him and hold the phone up.
But, yeah, it's killer. They got all the real-time, feedback, comments, and we're streaming songs before the album's out. Right now, we're streaming the whole album.
The whole album now.
Yeah. And,
but that's for a limited time, right? I saw that.
Yes.
I posted that on my Facebook page, so if people haven't seen it on the Death Angel Facebook page, it's also on mine. It's pretty easy to find. I tweeted it today, too.
Thank you.
Of course.
So, yeah, it's going to be streaming until, Tuesday, which technically until Monday at midnight, I think. Yes. Because right when the North American release date hits, it comes off the streaming.
And you got to go get it.
Yeah. But you get it free. You go to the show anyway.
So it gets released in the U.S. on Tuesday, and the shows are on Thursday and Friday. What made you decide to do 2 record release shows instead of 1? And what made you change your mind on the lineup from one night to the next?
Because the album is that good.
Go Will Carroll. Yeah. Somebody's been doing a lot of interviews this week.
Someone's been doing their homework about our album. No, well, I mean, Slim's, it's cool. It's a nice-sized venue, and we love playing there. It's a good time, and, it's just, fortunately these days, there's a lot of excitement in the scene, and there's more people than Slim's can hold in one show. So,
as we've already proven, because one is sold out already, right?
Yes, exactly.
Is that the Friday night that's sold out?
Yes, it is.
And so Thursday the 17th, tickets still available, and you can enter to win them right now on the Metal Zone webpage at 1077thebone.com, or you can buy them at slimstickets.com, and every ticket you buy comes with a copy of the new album, The Dream Calls for Blood, right?
Yes, it does. Every single ticket.
Kind of awesome. How's that distribution going to work? I mean, are you guys going to just be standing at the door as people walk in? And be like, here's your CD, dude. Here's your CD.
We're going to take shifts probably. Yep. Will and then me and then Mark and stuff. We'll stand there and we'll just hand them out and get to say hi. And it's all good fun. But we might get busy and we might not do that. We're still trying to.
I was going to say, you at that point, you might as well just set up a table because everybody's going to be like, can you autograph it? Can you sign it? We would. Yeah.
If there was time, we would.
But then nobody would get in because everybody would be standing in line trying to get their CDs signed.
I know. So you got to play ball.
Yeah. Oh. But it's not like we can't find you.
No. You can't not find us.
Except we probably won't be able to find you soon because you're about to go on tour.
If you want an autograph and a long conversation, talk to my man Damien. I love you, baby.
Where is Damien Sisson tonight?
Where is that guy?
Where is he?
He just got married. Congratulations to him.
Congratulations.
Yeah. My wife saw Damien jogging along MacArthur Boulevard the other day.
Really?
Maybe. Yeah.
Death Angel sighting.
Yeah,
it's like, where's Waldo?
I was driving by and I saw this guy with his long hair running. I'm like, look at this guy. Who's this guy in Oakland running around the streets like that?
He's got to be in a band.
So, yeah. I don't know what that really means, but.
Well, we are going to dig deep into the new album, The Dream Calls for Blood. We're also going to play some songs from it tonight. And we are giving away tickets to the record release show, the one that is not sold out, which is on Thursday, the 17th. Those tickets are on sale now at slimstickets.com. And you can enter to win them right now on the Metal Zone webpage at 1077thebone.com/Metal Zone. And I have got Metallica on the way. It's 1077 The Bone. It's the Metal Zone with Death Angel. And checking out in the studio, I have Rob Cavestany and Will Carroll from Death Angel. And their new album, The Dream Calls for Blood, is out Tuesday in the U.S. If you haven't pre-ordered it, that's when you can pick it up. Or you can pick it up at the record release shows, which are happening on Thursday and Friday at Slim's in San Francisco. Friday sold out. So you have to pick up those tickets, I guess, for Thursday at slimstickets.com. So let me see the lineup. You guys have 2 different lineups for both shows. How did that happen?
Well, we're not going to do 2 shows with the same lineup, 2 back-to-back nights. It's not exciting, though.
Some people might.
Mix it up. We've got to mix it up.
Okay. So how'd you pick the bands?
Well, the Friday night show is the lineup for the entire tour.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the tour package happening and kicks off Friday and keeps on going from there on. And Thursday night, we just, because Friday sold so well, so we did the second night, and then we have kind of more of a local San Francisco band kind of night going on. So it's definitely different. We have Heathen,
and we have Transition, who was a band called Extinction in like the late 80s, thrash band, and then they changed their name to Transition in the early 90s and broke up. They put out a killer album on SST Records called Ride My Spine, maybe, and it was a very great album, and they broke up for 16 years, and this is their first show back as a band. And then opening is My Victim, who's an old school band from San Francisco as well, from like the late 80s, early 90s. So the whole show with Heathen involved too. It's like a show you'd see at the Stone in maybe 1991.
So kind of a nice throwback for the Bay Area audience, especially since I'm expecting a lot of people probably bought tickets to both nights.
Yeah,
probably.
You could hope.
Tickets are on sale now at slimstickets.com, and a copy of the new album comes with your ticket. The album is called The Dream Calls for Blood, and the cover art is, I don't know, would you call it a reflection or in opposition to the last album cover art? It's a series that you guys have by the same artist, right? Do you want to tell people about that?
A continuation, I would call it. And it's kind of, it's like a 2-part story, the 2 albums. This album is obviously the second part of the duo. But they're loosely connected, So these wolves they're pissed, and they're coming and having their day after after they've been put through the ringer and various situations that we may use as a metaphor for ourselves. So there's a connection in there. See if you can check it out, if you can figure it out in the words.
For me, I think on the first album, they're really pissed because who wants to be around a volcano exploding? Like, that's just bad deal. But now they're on the tundra, and they're killing.
Yeah.
Killing is better than being killed. So I think they're having a good time right now.
So that's a new one.
Well, that's the beauty of art. It's subject to continual interpretation over the years or over the week. So you guys used the same producer this time around. It looks like you guys have found a clear niche with him, and you don't mind going back to Florida to make an album. It's kind of nice to get away. Tell me about that.
Well, I kind of mind.
Oh, yeah?
But that's just where the studio is, so it's kind of like you have to. It's not like what people, when you just think of like, oh, you guys are going to Florida for 2 months to record an album, you guys are going to be loving it, like you're going to be on the beach and just whatever. And like, no. We're not on the beach. We're nowhere near the beach. We're in the middle of Florida, like half an hour, inland from Orlando. Like we're like totally swampland.
Yeah.
And other than, top it off, we were there. I was there for 2 months. And in the 2 months, I think we had 3 days off. And those were just spent like sitting there, like trying to take a breath and watch the Warriors win. And that was it. Like, we just worked the whole time. And one of the reasons we love going out there is because it's the producer, Jason Sukoff. So, I mean, it's his studio. And when we're there, we just, like, there's no there's no time constriction of the studio itself, and we like to work, we just want to work when we're in there. We love it. It's fun, So we just keep working around the clock, and we're in various studios working crazy hours, and it just it fits our kind of work ethic and working style.
The new album, Death Angels, The Dream Calls for Blood, hits stores on Tuesday, or you can get a copy of it with your ticket for the record release show, which is happening on Thursday and Friday. There are still tickets available for Thursday's show at flimstickets.com, and that is the one with Heathen, Transition, and My Victim. And you can also enter to win those tickets on the Metal Zone page at 1077thebone.com. This is Slipknot, and we will be here all night with Death Angel in the studio on 1077 The Bone. It's the Metal Zone. I've got Rob Cavestany and Will Carroll in the studio with me tonight to talk about their new album, The Dream Calls for Blood, and the shows that they're playing at Slim's next Thursday and Friday. You can pick up your tickets at slimstickets.com. And one of my favorite things about the last couple of albums is that you guys really stuck to a tradition of album art. And I forgot to ask you on the last break, who is the artist for both the last two albums and the continuing concept between the drawings?
The artist is a human being by the name of Brent Elliott White, and he's up on the East Coast. He, of course, did the last two albums, and, we liked his style, and it was really killer because you get to explain a concept to him and work with him and collaborate. And then he brings this picture to life, and it's done so well, and it's really amazing that, at least to us it is. We like it. We like his style, and we like how it came out. So we did, we went to the second album, and we, of course, seeing how he did the first one, we knew what the second one would be like. It was just taking the concept to the next part. So it's very exciting. And, he incorporates all these little details that we want in there. It's like our chance to have our old Iron Maiden album with Eddie and all the stuff happening and all the detail that's in the picture and stuff that makes people look at it, and you gotta see all this stuff and wonder what it all means. So yeah.
And what is the continuing backstory to the wolves in both albums?
Okay, so yeah, the wolves are not just sitting there wearing these funny little hats, these horn helmet things that people are like, wow, how'd the wolves get those helmets on their head? What it is okay, so it's the concept of wolf and sheep's clothing, right? So those are the carcasses of sheep that the wolves were disguised as. So they had burst out of the bodies, and that's what you're seeing with those things on them. And on Relentless Retribution, the story is what these wolves are doing is they're dressing up like the sheep so that they can be in disguise and, come around these humans that are hunting them and burst out of the sheep's bodies and attack the humans and exact the revenge upon them. But what ended up happening, what you see on that album is they were about to do that, right? And it gets a little wicked here because the wolves inside realize that there's other wolves in the wolf pack that, maybe are deceitful or traitors or whatever it is. They're
enemies within.
Enemies within. There you go. There's a song on that album called Opponents at Sides, and it's exactly explaining that. So, and people know, it happens. It's not just it's not just wolves or bands. It's just that kind of thing happens to people in circles of people and stuff. So we're just talking about it because, a lot of that kind of thing affected our lives in that point of time. And we just metaphorically use the wolves and everything to display what we were kind of going through. And so it was a bit of a cleansing, right, for the wolves. They got rid of these other bad wolves on that album. And
get away from the volcano. I tell everyone, get away from the volcano.
It is dangerous to be that close to the molten lava.
Of course, absolutely.
Very hot. And so now on this album, it's the wolves have they're coming out again, and now they are accomplishing the original goal. Yes.
No more dissension in the ranks. They're dressed like sheep. They're ready to kick some ass.
And they're partying. They're raging. They're raging on that cover.
And they're pissed, but they're filled with love that they have inside them, ready to spread the love to all the wonderful beings once they...
You mean after they attack the humans and destroy their common enemy?
Well, yes.
Yeah, after that.
After that part, then they can spread love to the rest of the...
I think we've already discovered the next album concept down the road after this tour.
The wolves will just be chilling on the beach and
It'll be like the end of Trading Places, they'll be on the beach. Looking good, Winthorpe.
Getting all
Feeling
psychedelic.
good. Yeah. I've got Rob Cavestany and Will Carroll of Death Angel in the studio with me tonight, and you can hear the title track from their new album, The Dream Calls for Blood, up next on 107.7 The Bone. It's the Metal Zone. Death Angel in the studio with me tonight, or at least Rob Cavestany and Will Carroll. Yeah.
All right. Hey.
So, how exciting is it to hear your new album on your hometown radio station?
It is very, very exciting. I'm so excited I can't think straight.
Very satisfying.
That's true.
It is, right?
So looking forward to the record release shows that are happening next week. The record gets released on Tuesday. The record release shows are Thursday and Friday. Tickets are still available for Thursday's show. You guys are doing 2 shows in a row, so you've got 2 sets of opening bands. I'm guessing there's going to be 2 different set lists?
Well, you'll have to see. We don't discuss our set list before the show. But
Like-
we've been known to play a lot of different music, so, you'll have to come and see.
GNR style, baby.
But
Bruce Springsteen style.
well, Friday is sold out, so people can't
Yeah,
go both nights if they didn't already get their tickets.
That's
so.
true. That's true. Friday, it's a done deal, so we're very happy, and thank you, Bay Area and everybody else. We really appreciate it. We're so stoked. And
And the Friday
yeah.
night bill we haven't talked about though, like even though it's sold out, but
The concert, because that's the tour.
so that's the tour lineup. Yeah, it's us and 3 Inches of Blood and Revocation and Battle Cross and
And that's
That's
it.
it.
That's it.
There's a band called Diamond Plate that's on the rest of the tour, but they're not on that show. I'm not exactly sure why. Probably
Okay.
they just could.
Maybe
start
they just
the
didn't
next night in Hollywood.
Get
or
out
whatever.
here fast enough or something, yeah.
Something.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
because
because what you people in Radioland couldn't see was a lot of hand signals happening really quickly and really strangely in the studio.
I felt like I was like the defensive coach for the Raiders or something like that. Like what?
You know what? You actually
Well, I knew you were
kind
going to
of
say Diamond Plate because that's the other band. I was just saying they're not playing
actually
on
kind
that
of
show.
look like the former defensive coach for the Oakland Raiders as well. So
All right.
Will Carroll is not a Raider fan, so
No, I'm
I think
not.
we can go ahead and out you for that
Everyone
one pretty
knows that.
easily. It's no secret. So what are you allowed to tell us about the record release shows besides that Friday is sold out and everybody gets a copy of the album as they walk in the door?
Well, it's our first headlining San Franciscan show in the past 2 years, so that's been quite some time. I thought it was 1 year, but I was recently told that it was 2.
I mean,
But
I'm sure
there's a technicality on this. Will, you want to explain
Ted
it?
Aguilar was probably going to slap me in the face when I see my practice on Monday, but I want to say it's close to 2 years since we've headlined proper in San Francisco.
Because you guys did play the
Because we
Kirk
headlined
Hammett
Oakland
book release
we
party.
headlined the new parish. In
That's right.
Oakland
We did Oakland,
on the Ultraviolence anniversary tour.
and we played in San Francisco a couple times, but we weren't headlining. They
But
were kind
that
of
was-
special event shows.
Right.
Kirk's book party show, Halloween
Right.
last year, and
The Metallica 30th
thing,
anniversary.
30th anniversary.
Oh yeah, that
was
little
amazing.
Thing. You know,
Yeah.
That little show at the Fillmore.
You were so conditioned to not be allowed to talk about that appearance that you probably are still conditioned not to talk about it.
You know,
Because
funny story about that. I was
it
so
was that
conditioned.
top secret.
I was so conditioned about not talking about that show because we respect.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
it was requested that we're going to be on that show and just don't say anything because they want to have a surprise for their fans and for everybody. So that makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're just honored to be part of the show, and we kept our mouths shut. We got ready for it, and in fact, Gus, my cousin and former rhythm guitar player of Death Angel, Gus Peppa.
Gus Peppa, everyone.
Who's in the studio
Who's in the
tonight?
studio
sitting
tonight?
quietly.
Say hi, Gus. Yeah. So anyway, I told him that like I had gotten on the guest list and I got him, I got him on the list. So I told him to meet me at the show that night. And so I said, we'll just meet inside, in the Fillmore. And he had no idea. And Gus was in there and the whole time and he's like texting me like, hey, where are you?
Where
And
are
then-
you?
Yeah, and then next thing you know, the lights went down, and I could see him in the crowd, and we were on stage. It was just hella funny because we just busted out and played, and that's how hush hush it was.
Yeah.
But it was fun that way.
It was so hush hush that Rob and I, when I was over at your house once,
Oh, yeah.
I knew and you knew, but you didn't know that I knew.
That's right. I wasn't telling you.
And I got you alone. in the garage for like a second, and I was like, dude, I know. And you were like, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's right.
I don't know anything. I don't know what you're saying. I'm like, no, I know. It's okay. I know.
I know we're sitting there in the garage jumping up and down, all excited.
Like, yay.
But for the record, that show never happened.
Yeah, right?
That's right. And that wasn't a headlining show of ours. It was
Correct.
a different event. And we came through. We did the Warfield Theater with Anthrax and Testament on that tour, which was an amazing tour and show. But again, it wasn't a headlining show. We're playing a short set. So this time, of course, we're playing a long set both nights. And a lot of old songs that we haven't been playing in our set for the past few years, as well as, of course, a lot of new songs from our new album, which we're totally excited to play, fresh stuff for us and good fun.
And going back quick to the Warfield show that I played with Death Angel, that was a dream come true for me to play the Warfield. Like, I've grown up in the Bay Area, or in San Francisco, Daly City, to be specific. And I've always loved the Warfield, seen so many great shows and so many great bands there. And to play there with Death Angel was a dream come true. And it was also rad because I saw Death Angel play the Warfield on the Act 3 tour when they headlined there with Forbidden opening. And that was an amazing show as well. So I just wanted to throw that in there. Like, there's a full
circle metal moment.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. I love these guys. I love you guys.
And the headlining show for the first time in multiple years is happening this Thursday and Friday as the record release is celebrated. The record comes out on Tuesday. It is called The Dream Calls for Blood, and you can pick it up, or you should pick it up. If you don't, you can always get a copy of it with your ticket for the Thursday night show, which are still on sale at slimstickets.com. And Death Angel is in the studio with us tonight on 107.7 The Bone. It's the Metal Zone. 107.7 The Bone. That is Death Angel in the Metal Zone from their new album, The Dream Calls for Blood. That song was Son of the Morning. In the studio with me tonight, I have Will Carroll and Rob Cavestany from Death Angel. And so a little brief history about that song we just heard. Anyone?
That was Son of the Morning. And
what was the original title for that song?
That song was called 10th.
Okay.
That must have been the 10th song that we wrote for the album. And that one's a little off topic for as far as lyrically. It's kind of cool. That's definitely the most evil song of the album. It's Son of the Morning is the devil. So, Mark wrote these words, but I know what he's talking about. We've discussed these things. And it's basically the devil and the temptation that he's bringing to you. The temptation of the devil.
Excellent.
It's wicked.
And musically for me, it's one of the funner songs to play on the album. And I'm actually trying to get an old Death Angel sound, like Andy's drum style, a little kind of funky groove a little bit, on some of the parts of the song. And that's the only song. So for me, it's not a brutal song. It's not an evil song at all. It's more of a rockin' tune for me to play.
Oh, it's evil.
But it's a really fun song to play, and
it's fun evil.
And I was trying to get the old DA sound in there a little bit,
it's definitely one of the more grooving songs of the album. It's got a pummeling groove.
So and I respect Andy's drumming big time. So that's a big part of Death Angel's sound. So I was trying to infuse that in there.
Yeah.
So is this something that you guys discuss in the DVD that you have that's part of the making of the album?
Maybe not this conversation, but there's lots of good stuff to see on there.
It's definitely it's about an hour long making of the album DVD that's included with the digipack of the album. There's various formats of it. So there's this expanded edition digipack that comes with the DVD, was the making of the album, and it's really, really cool DVD. It came out much more elaborate and in depth than I was thinking it was gonna. It's like a little movie.
It is a straight up.
Yeah, you thought it was gonna be kind of a behind the scenes flash of home movies, and it turned out to be it's like a film.
It's like a film.
Yeah.
Yeah. We the filmmaker Tommy Jones, who works out of Video Hammer Studios, which is part of the Audio Hammer family that's happening out there. He's an amazing, cutting edge, new school filmmaker that's making a lot of metal videos and a lot of metal kind of documentaries and things like that. And he did the last video for River of Rapture from our last album. And
He also did the making of DVD for the last album as well.
no, actually he didn't. Ted did a lot of the filming when we were there. It was like kind of more home style. The DVD that came with that one was more of us inside doing our thing. This time we hired Tommy to do it, so it's definitely upgraded. Ted did a great job, by the way.
Yeah, I was
of course, of course. But Ted's not a filmmaker.
Nothing against Ted.
Ted's a guitar player, not a filmmaker. He did a great job filmmaking, but Tommy is a filmmaker. And so this thing is like he's got crazy angles and he's just like total fly on the wall because we're so comfortable with Tommy being around. He was on the road with us for like a year and a half doing the Thrashumentary DVD, which is a whole nother DVD.
He was in Southeast Asia with us. So
Yes, he was.
That's enough
Wow.
said right there.
He got a tattoo. He got a tattoo in Taiwan on his wrist that says "Made in Taiwan." Tommy Jones. Tommy Red
Attaboy.
Light Jones. But anyways,
so the album
Yeah.
also comes in other formats, right?
it does. There's a double gatefold vinyl, 2 different editions. There's like the regular vinyl and there's like the special kind of opaque white with the red blood splatter special vinyl. I haven't held it in my hands yet. I've seen pictures. And Mark said it looked cool. He's already seen it. But there's that. Then there's the normal jewel box, whatever, the regular CD. Then there's that digipack that has the DVD that comes with it. In Europe, they're making that like digi booklet. I like that version. Mark doesn't really like that version as much, but that's okay. Different people like
Different
things.
strokes, right?
But I kind of like it. You ever seen? It's like a book. It's like a hardback book.
Oh,
you ever
yeah,
seen
yeah.
that kind of thing?
Yeah, I've seen those.
Now, at the
pages
record
are
It has
release,
an actual
spine and stuff.
Yeah.
at the record release shows, it's going to be yet another version of the album that you're giving out only at the record release shows on Thursday and Friday at Slim's.
That is absolutely correct. We have a special version that comes, of course you get the CD free with every ticket coming to these record release shows in California. And so we have a special edition. Yes, it's a limited, whatever collector's edition of the album. It's completely different from the normal album packaging. And you'll just have to see that when you get it. It says so on there, the shows, the dates, and it's kind of done like a bootleg kind of packaging, but
So it's kind of like getting a T-shirt that's got the show dates on it, but it's a CD.
yes, exactly. And speaking
Except
of
for you didn't have to
t-shirts-
buy it in the parking lot for $5.
Yeah,
No.
you gotta buy it off some dude out front.
You can buy it at slimstickets.com if you want to go on Thursday night. Friday is sold out, but Thursday night you can still get tickets at slimstickets.com, and you can enter to win those tickets right now on the Metal Zone webpage at 1077thebone.com/metalzone. And Death Angel are hanging out with me in the studio tonight. This is Sepultura with Mass Hypnosis. Tickets are on sale now, like I said, at slimstickets.com. And in the studio with me tonight, Rob Cavestany and Will Carroll of Death Angel. The Dream Calls for Blood is out Tuesday. It's out now in Europe,
It is,
which is
yeah.
kind of cool.
Some people that pre-ordered it have been receiving their packages in the mail. So yeah, but official release date in the States is Tuesday. So we're creeping along.
So yeah, there's no turning back now.
It's out. You
awesome.
can't make any
Yeah, it's
changes.
That's great.
Do you ever do that? Like when you first start playing it or you get ready to tour, you're like, if we just change this little bit.
On the last album, there was one thing, like the drums didn't go dum at the end of one song. Yeah. Sorry, I'm all talking to Rob. But yeah, on the last album, there was one minor drum thing that I didn't do in the studio that we normally did live. But no, this album, I don't think.
One hit, one beat.
Was boom.
One. Just the
totally
one.
changed it up.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that boom.
Vast changes.
Yeah.
So crazy stuff like that. No, but no, we do mess with our songs a little bit, and kind of try to make it interesting. It depends if the moment calls for it, you can just tell. But it's a little bit confusing right now because we're rehearsing a lot of new songs that we haven't played live before whatsoever, and they're new to us, and we're like totally referring to the CD the way we recorded them, but they take on their own shape into their own monster when you play them live. So like going back and forth from rehearsal and then like going home later on, I'm still practicing to the album like every day just to really get it down. And it's kind of confusing me because there's a few subtle things that we're doing differently between that. So it's a little bit of a twist on the mind, but it's fun.
and it's like working on the album, like prior to recording like all these songs, like we're working like individually, and it's not so much like we're jamming on them, like getting ready for a tour or just jamming. You know, like everyone's working on their parts and making sure it's precise and everything. But now we're jamming as a band. It definitely takes on its own life. You know, it's if it doesn't, then your band's doing something wrong. But like it feels cool to play these songs and like it has a liver feel. You know, it's not the album. It's going to be a live attack. You know, so little things might be a little bit different, like here and there, but it's still going to be rocking. You know. Yeah.
Now, a few years back, there was talk of Death Angel, the Thrashumentary, and it kind of got put on hold. Are we going to see anything from that? Because I know there was a lot of footage already, right?
Busted, lagging on our Thrashumentary.
You're late to everything, Rob. It's okay. We're used to it.
Well, you know, we got to keep our true identity. Well, yeah. So you know, it's just because, but in this case, it was for a good reason. Because we were just amassing footage for this thing that was initially just going to be basically like a live concert DVD, cut from 3 different shows that we did. But then, you know, the filmmaker Tommy came up with he came up with the title Thrashumentary. He's like, oh, dude, thrash. And so once that title came about, we had to. It was like we loved the title, and then we wanted to make it a Thrashumentary, which should be a documentary about thrash and our band. So it took on a whole nother life. We had to go in and like really start telling the story from the beginning, finding a lot of archive footage and all this stuff. And meanwhile, we're still getting more and more new footage that's coming along, and a lot of interviews from like a lot of our peers in the music industry, and a lot of band members and stuff saying cool stuff about us and nostalgic things. So it just kept going and going and going until finally, you know, it crossed over to the new album. So we started working on the new album, and that took priority over this DVD. Now the DVD is done and ready. It's just about, you know, done. It's getting edited right now. But of course, this new album's coming out. We don't want to release like 2 completely different things at the same time. Mm-hmm. So it'll probably come out at the end of spring, beginning of summer, while we're on tour for this album. It's cool because at least we have some new products coming out while we're on tour, and it's, you know.
Well, that'll be cool because right before that comes out, you can come back on the Metal Zone and bring me a copy of that Blood Splatter vinyl to play.
Yes, we'll play vinyl on the air.
Because we can do that here on 107.7 The Bone. So Death Angel's new album, The Dream Calls for Blood, comes out in the U.S. on Tuesday. Unless you pre-ordered it, then it's already in the mail, or you're in Europe, or you bought tickets already to the record release show, which includes a copy of the album that you will be given upon entry to the building. And that copy is different than every other copy that you can buy. So there is so much Death Angel going on right now.
It's Death Angel week.
It is. You can pick up your tickets to the Thursday night show. Friday is sold out, but you can pick up your tickets to the Thursday night show at slimstickets.com, and you can pick up the ticket. The tickets. You can pick up. You can pre-order the album still, or not pre-order, but you can order the album still at deathangel.us, right?
Yes. All the links are there, everything, album, a lot of new merch items and stuff too. A lot of cool, you know, stuff with the artwork from the new album. A lot of different variety of items there, so you can find it all.
Awesome. And thanks so much for coming to the studio with me, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Got it. And in the immortal words of Paul Bailoff, it takes 2 to rage. We rage, you rage. We rage, you don't rage. It's hard to rage, bro.